What's up, men's physique fans, and welcome back to another video. Posing is an art form. Being able to show off your strengths all while hiding your weaknesses, meanwhile creating flow from shot to shot, is oftentimes what separates second from first place at all levels. Unlike any other division, the men's physique division only judges two poses, front and back, which oftentimes limits the athlete from creating an entertainment yet simplistic routine that captivates the audience but pleases the judges. So in this video, I'm gonna give flowers to those who I believe have mastered this ability and continuously separate themselves through their posing.
Grapevine, but I ain't hearing nothing great. No, they wanna take it all from me, so I give what it takes. Whole life been a miracle, seen everything but a cape. Why would I stop now? Found everything on a journey, but another way. Look, I'm not.
And coming in at number 5, we have the man who single-handedly changed the game for all of those who are standing over 6 feet tall. My favorite men's physique athlete, personally, of all time, Raymond Edmonds. So I'm gonna take a quick second to dissect the last time that Raymond has been on stage at the 2021 Mr. Olympia, and I might be getting a little bit of a nostalgia feels. It might be in my feels just a little bit, but I'm gonna show you guys why Raymond's posing stands out and why it truly helps him be not only one of the best of all time, but consistently in conversations when he's at any show, no matter who he's standing next to. Man, I miss this man being on stage. Now, one thing that I love that Raymond does is when he first initially walks out, he hits his front shot from afar, showing off his structure and his overall silhouette. Then he walks to the middle of the box, hitting a very traditional front shot, taking his time before hitting a beautiful transition Ventura step. Guys, the Ventura step is such a popular transition because the definition of flow is how can you get from point A to C with limiting your steps at B. Okay, again, limiting your steps at B. And with the Ventura step, all you need to do is take one step before you have a very smooth transition from front to back. That's the one thing about Raymond that I truly believe helps him stand out is he can hit multiple different front shots from different angles. And one thing you'll notice, he is moving from side to side, from front to back, but also all while staying in the center of the stage, which is the best lighting on the stage. Again, you want to make sure that whichever move that you're doing, however far you might be transitioning, you always find that place back to that center point because again, the just lighting on that stage is at its best in the middle. And coming in at number 4, we have the greatest men's physique athlete of all time, and Jeremy Buendia. And a massive reason why Jeremy is where he is and who he is because of his ability to show off his strengths versus his weaknesses, but also create a very nice flow between all of these transition points. Jeremy has been successful in multiple different phases of the growth of the division. When he was at his most dominant, he is somebody who truly helped push the division forward. Also a big reason that the golden era of men's physique took a massive step forward in their posing and overall presentation. So we're gonna dissect Jeremy's last time on stage at the 2023 Mr. Olympia. I remember sitting front row and watching Jeremy walk out, man. Nostalgia was absolutely insane. Seeing him on stage, just kind of feeling that energy from the crowd was amazing. But just like Raymond, Jeremy shows off his structure by hitting that far away front shot before walking out under the lights and then opening up to a very traditional front shot. Now, one thing that I love, right, I think there's 2 different openers that a lot of people could do that I tend to lean more towards, which are 1, the traditional kind of hand over before transitioning and opening up, or the X-Man, which again was coined by one of the greatest of all time in George Brown. Now, for me personally, I love the very simplistic, again, crossbody, open up. It doesn't take a lot of time, but also it allows you to kind of set, breathe down on your midsection before opening up, which a lot of people tend to struggle with, or they hit it afterwards, so they show an unflexed version of themselves compared to a flexed version of themselves. So again, Jeremy opens up with the one hand before opening up to the front shot. a nice off-center step. This is more of that entertainment factor, but one thing you'll notice, he'll take that immediate step right back to the center because, again, that's where the lighting is at its best. And I love this because it actually helps show off his side, very similar to how the Ventura step would typically do. Now, for the famous Jeremy Buendia sweep transition, again, one thing you'll notice how even though he is making multiple different movements, all he is doing is transitioning his feet, replacing his feet, right? So it's not a lot going on. It's staying in one specific spot on that stage other than when he originally take that one step off. And again, that's a massive part of flow, right? Making sure that it doesn't look like you're doing a lot when you're actually doing a decent amount, right? So he hit a sweeping transition, then he pulled back and hit like almost like a Hendrickson squeeze before opening up. But if you notice, again, all was done in a very small section of that stage. And again, allows you to kind of show off your personality, show off different aspects of your physique, but again, keeping things still within the center. Now, one thing I'll give Jeremy a lot of credit for is how much he has brought up his back over the years. His back was never a strong attribute, and you can tell the confidence because he stays in this shot longer. The longer you stay in shots tend to be just simply because you're more confident in that shot. Now hitting almost like a double hand on hip Superman, almost like a Aaron Banks-esque pose. I kind of like it. You know, I actually had an opportunity to spend time with Jeremy 5 weeks out from the Olympia, and one thing that I knew that he was really emphasizing was changing his posing compared to the golden era when he was posing back in his 4-time reign compared to now, which was more the traditional side. So before, you would see Jeremy almost hitting like a elongated base where his feet were a little bit wider. He was more front facing, right? But now you'll notice he's more off center. So his left foot would be more in front than his right foot, angling himself and then rolling that shoulder over, showing off just a little bit more structure. And I remember, even though we know Jeremy didn't nail it on this day, when I saw him 5 weeks out hitting that shot, guys, I was in awe. I was in awe. I know this wasn't the best version of Jeremy, but I promise you this, Jeremy, when he is on, or just leading into the Olympia in general, dude was looking absolutely insane, and his posing was significantly improved. So I'm really excited to see what he can do. And again, very simple, right? Hand up to the sky. I know the world was excited to see him back on stage, man. I know he felt absolutely amazing being back on stage. I'm really excited to see him hopefully recover from this injury and get back there very soon. And coming in at the 3rd place spot, this might just be the most popular poser in all of men's physique. Why? Because it's an entertainment aspect. He is somebody who highlights the definition of personality, again, creativity, and pulling from a lot of different athletes or inspirations around him to turn it into his own unique style. Coming in at number 3, we have Kyron Holden. Kyron Holden is one of those athletes where I would actually go pay money to go see perform. Very similar to like a Rough Diesel or a Urs Kalsiski or Samson Dauda, who have a lot of personality in their posing. Kyron is that for men's physique, right? Kyron is a massive fan of anime. He's a massive fan of music. He's a massive fan of energy, like actually the definition of energy. And you can tell because he puts all of that into his posing. One thing that I believe Kyron does that truly separates himself is tempo. We're going to go over that here in a quick minute. So dissecting Kyron's posing from the 2023 Mr. Olympia. Again, the very traditional Naruto walkout before he opens up into that front shot. Keep in mind, guys, there's a lot of different ways where you can show off your front shot, and your posing routine is a perfect opportunity to do so. But I do highly recommend trying to find that one, maybe 2 poses that you know are your best and utilizing that during comparison rounds. But then during a routine, you can kind of, again, add some personality, add some flow, showing off different aspects of your physique. Kyron's very simple but smooth transition, guys. Always remember, when you're doing a transition, all of it is a simple replacement of the feet, all right? And then Kyron pulls back at the Hendrickson squeeze, and this is what I love, man, getting the crowd involved. Getting the crowd involved, man. That's the entertainment aspect, right? Opens up to the beautiful back shot. We all know Kyron has a dominant back. And then the thing that I wanted to highlight that I truly believe separates Kyron from everybody else is that tempo control, guys, the tempo control. He is very good with slowing movements down or speeding them up to add emphasis, right? To add overall entertainment or shock value to his posing. When he in his back shot kind of whips out almost like the blades, like it looks absolutely insane, but it's also very smooth, right? It's aggressive, and that's a way that he likes to show off his style of posing, a little bit more of aggression and then slow down tempos, right? Again, keep in mind, guys, we don't have the opportunity to do a lot in men's physique posing. Like I said, it's just front and back. The judges want you in and out of your shots as soon as possible, but what you can control is a flow, right? Transition, and then again, controlling your tempo. And Kyron does a phenomenal job at controlling his tempo, keeping things unique. But again, when you look at the movements, guys, pay attention because they are very simple, right? Replacing other feet in transition, okay, staying in the center, right? Again, hand placements, feet placements, all of these things are very, very universal between all of these top posers. But again, all having their unique personality involved that allows them to exaggerate the overall presentation. And coming in at number 2, we have the man who I actually like to model my posing after. Somebody who also stands above 6 feet tall. Somebody who also has very strengths and weaknesses as I do. And again, somebody who knows how to hit shots that are best for them and stay out of shots that are not best for them. Again, coming in at number 2, we have our 2022 Mr. Olympia champion in Aaron Banks. One thing about Aaron Banks' routine, it's a little bit longer than most. Keep in mind, at the pro level, you do have a little bit more time to show off your overall look. But I will say this, guys, you want to be able to get in and out of your routine. You don't want to spend too much time. The routine is where judges have the most time to simply critique. You're not going up there with anybody else. So they're not comparing you more than they are simply trying to pick out flaws. Okay, so again, hit your best shots, get in, get out, add some personality, and then on to the next. So again, walking out, starting that front shot from the back because he has such a dominant structure. I want you guys to understand what I mean by this. If you were to turn off the lights and just have like almost like a backlight lit, that would be the silhouette, right? So if you don't have the best silhouette, I wouldn't recommend you doing a shot like that because again, it will kind of highlight your not so strong attributes when in reality, Aaron has very small waist, wide shoulders. So his overall attributes get exaggerated from a distance, right? Almost not under the crazy lighting. And that's why I always recommend anybody who has that kind of good structure in men's physique to start from the distance, hit that shot before walking up. This man is looking like a force walking up to the center, man. I love it. Again, not smiling, he's confident. Boom, opens up, starts to show that men's physique smile. Waistline looks insane. Notice how one thing I love about Aaron, he tapers himself. So instead of being front facing here, he'll angle himself, again, roll that shoulder over and have his overall waist looking non-existent compared to his upper body. Again, manipulation, right? Showing your strengths versus your weaknesses. And again, his taper is the strength and he makes his waist look even smaller by simply angling himself. Again, the very popular Ventura step. And then something that a lot of us need to remind ourselves, when you have a dominant attribute, show it off. Stay in your back shot for as long as possible if you are going to have one of the best backs on stage. Again, boom. Opening up, holding the shot. Another smooth flow transition to another angle of his back before hitting his most famous move, the peekaboo. Guys, I've tried this multiple times and it just doesn't look good on me. So I want to make sure that I emphasize this. You see a lot of times amateurs or even professionals trying to mimic some of their favorite posers in all of the division. And I get it. I truly do. But don't try to mimic somebody else's posing if it doesn't add to your own posing. So if you don't have the serratus or obliques that Aaron does, don't try to hit the peekaboo because they're only going to expose yourself, right? So keep that in mind. Don't try to copy, but also you can try to take from other athletes to see if it does work good on you. So again, you see a lot of people trying to hit the peekaboo move. It just doesn't necessarily work for them, but it does work for Aaron, right? It adds that personality, adds that confidence. You saw how he hit that shot, smiled before rocking back and opening back up. And this is why Aaron is one of the best posers in men's physique. He keeps it very simple, right? Has that men's physique smile, hit his front and his back shot, stays in his shots the longest that he looks his best and doesn't overcomplicate it, right? But again, has flow in between each of those steps. Guys, it's not rocket science, right? All it really is making sure that you know how to do what's best for your physique. And then from there, in, out, and get to comparisons. And coming in at number 1, we have Ben Quill. Guys, there's not much to say here. Ben is the best poser in men's physique. Ben is somebody and is the definition of keep it simple, stupid, right? Hit your front shots, hit your back shots that look best for you. Have a little bit of flow, have a little bit of personality, but get on and get off. Simple, right? Keep in mind, this is men's physique, right? The judges want to see front and back, and again, maybe a little bit of personality, but that's it. And again, I think Ben is a prime representation of that. And I absolutely love how simplistic his posing is, but also just how demanding it feels when you're watching it. So this is Ben's latest posing routine in India, where he qualified for the 2024 Mr. Olympia. And again, you can see Ben starting from the back, great structure, right? Great poise, man. Look at his face, right? Look at the tempo, opens up to his front shot. Now, Ben has an elite midsection. Again, this is probably one of the most dominant attributes of his personal physique. So he has the ability to kind of open up, show off his conditioning through his midsection while doing that before really calmly dropping his arms. And again, notice his demeanor, right? Notice you don't have to mean mug it the whole time, but again, that confidence looks translates. And then when he's in his front shot in that men's physique, style, he has that nice smile, and then boom, continues from there. Notice how his facial expressions change dependent on what moves he's making. And then boom, opens up. So then you'll see Ben hit that hand over, tightens down on his midsection, breathe out, and then boom, shows off that hand on hip before a smooth transition to the Ventura step. So you'll notice Ben has two very strong front shots. He'll transition from the one to the other with the hand over, covering down, breathing down on his midsection, so he doesn't show an unflexed versus a flexed version of himself, right? So he breathes down, tightens down, and then opens up into the hand on hip front shot. A lot of times you'll see guys, even I made this mistake, where they'll cover up, and then they open up, and then they tighten down on their midsection, right? You don't want to show judges your weaknesses. Breathe down, keep the midsection tight throughout your transitions, and then boom, transition in and out. And then when you need to take a break, you take that breath only when your back is facing the judges. Ben has a very, very smooth Ventura step. Notice his facial expression when he hits the move. Again, very serious, very demanding, very smooth. I think the best Ventura step in all of men's physique. And then boom, very subtle, guys. Easy, easy, easy back shot. He looks very comfortable, confident. It's not overthinking. And I love the back to front transition. Smooth, extremely smooth. Again, this is why he's my favorite poser. A lot of the things that he's doing look simple. It really looks simple, but when you try to recreate it, you realize how hard it actually is, right? But again, this comes with time, this comes with stage experience, and it comes with making mistakes and then learning from people like Ben, studying people like Ben in order to kind of make that perfect for yourself. All right. So again, guys, posing is an art form. It is not easy. There's going to be a lot of trials and tribulations with it, right? I coach a lot of young athletes who are still trying to find themselves within posing, and I promise you it's not easy. But one thing that I highly recommend is hiring a great posing coach. I actually believe Ben is a posing coach in himself, so if he's taking on any clients, reach out to him. But also make sure that you're practicing. That's the number one thing I see people not doing, is just simply getting up and getting uncomfortable because they know they're not good at it. So get uncomfortable and get good at it. If you or somebody you know are interested in stepping on stage for the first time, getting nationally qualified, or earning your IFBB Pro card, or simply growing and getting prepared for the 2025 season, I am now taking on clients. All you have to do is click the link below. This will not be easy, but I promise you it will be worth it. So if you're looking to try to shred down 10 to 20 pounds, shoot me over a message. Or if you're looking to try to put on size to be dominant for the next time you step on stage, shoot me a message, guys. I'm so excited to get things going. Again, click the link below. Here are some of the transformations that I had, and I can tell you this, like I said, it wasn't easy, but if you ask them, it's safe to say it was worth it. Comment below, who is your favorite poser on this list? And did I miss anybody? Make sure you drop their name below as well so I can study their posing and maybe do another video on them here in the near future. And as always, guys, I love you. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, get this number to 12.6, man. We are moving up, and it wouldn't be for you guys. I love you. And again, men's physique division to the moon. See you guys in the next one.